Hey, g'day everyone, and thanks for tuning in. On this episode of the Barra C-line build, what I'm going to get into is trimming the inner guards to fit over the suspension, get them bolted in there. Once I get them bolted in there, I want to mount the coolant header tank and mount the airbox, get all that situated, and then I'll probably return my attention to the lower part of the firewall recess and get that sorted out. So yeah, let's get into it, Alrighty, so I'll set those inner guards up just in a rough position and give them a little mark up there. Pretty sure it's going to take a fair bit more to clearance than just what I've marked there, but I'm going to cut that first and also take that lip off the bottom of the guard. So I'll get these cut, sit them back in there and mark out what's left to cut. Rightio, so I've got both those inner guards trimmed up. They're pretty close. I'll probably give them a little bit more of a haircut once they're off. I've just got a few spots marked where I'll give them a final trim up, but they're both on there for now. Gonna lift the nose cone back on the truck and see how it all fits together, and then look at mounting the airbox and coolant header tank. Alrighty, so I got the front clip back on. Obviously we've just run out of real estate really fast with those inner guards. As you can see, that airbox, the lower airbox, just has nowhere to exist. So got a couple of options here. It's either I try and recess the inner guard a bit and probably heavily modify this lower airbox, but also on the same token I can't really I don't want to go too far into the wheel well because I don't want to interfere with my tyres on lock or anything like that. So that's an option. And also I was just having to play around. That's where the old remote booster went. Could potentially put the airbox in there and run the intake across the front there. Obviously acres of room. Not sure how I feel about that yet. It's getting pretty late here. I didn't get started on this until the SARV. Had a bit on this morning, so I have to shut it down. But the header tank, it's got plenty of room to live. Potentially I'm thinking about I might cut the bracket off the Falcon and weld it on the inner guard to mount that. Just might make it a bit more straightforward, but that's the least of my problem. So gotta have a big think about this airbox situation, but we'll shut it down for the day and leave it to it. Alright, so it's Monday Ave and I'm gonna get back into the inner. I've just been up the block this morning sorting some stuff out, so it's after lunchtime here, but had a good think about the intake over the weekend and what I want to do, and basically the airbox isn't going to work. It's just going to be too much work to try and recess it into the inner fender, and then I'm going to lose if it goes too far in it. Then I run into it's going to hit into the tire and all sorts of jazz. So not going to work, but come up with a solution. Got about a 3-inch pipe here, and essentially what I'm going to do is I'm thinking sort of on the angle like that. Maybe I could go at 90, but I'm thinking probably sort of on the 45. I'm going to cut a hole through the inner fender and weld that bit of pipe in there, and then underneath it's going to run a pod filter with a shroud on it. Like I said, I was hoping to go with the factory sort of look, but by the time these inner guards got fitted, just running out of real estate, and it's just not worth the effort. Went up and had a look at the Falcon and realised that there basically isn't a bracket that holds the header tank on. It basically sits on the inner guard, so I'm just going to have to make my own sort of mounting plates up for it and get to mounting both of those. So that's the first job I want to do for the intake, and also mount the header tank, so we'll get into those. And also you're probably going to see this in the background of this video. So this is a mate of mine's doing a bit of work on it for him. He's helping me out doing the extension up the up at the block. So yeah, bit to do on this, but yeah, we'll do it in between. Sort of, yeah, when I get stuck on the inner, I can move over to this. So yeah, that's what this is doing in the background. But yeah, so back on the inner, we'll get it stuck into the intake in the coolant header tank. Alrighty, so I got that cut the end of that pipe off, cut that hole out, and I've got it tacked in. Really happy with how that's looking. Flows really nice, and like I said, it'll be that 3-inch pipe will be running on the underside of the guard with a pod filter up here with a shroud on it to keep the water and the dirt off it. So yeah, that's gonna work out really good. A lot cleaner than trying to fit that air box. So now I'm going to move my attention over the header tank. That's the way it sits in the Falcon. So what I'm thinking is I might obviously gonna have to shorten the hose up, but what I'm thinking is actually lining that mount up with this recess, like with the stamping. So I might, yeah, go ahead and mount that in there, and also gonna have to make a little spacer to mount that as well. And obviously the hose is gonna have to be shortened up, but that's what I'm thinking at this stage to make use of that. I think I'll line it up with that bracket instead of sort of out in the open. And if I do that, that'll sort of half cover up the recess for the factory booster. So that's what I'm thinking. I'll go ahead and yeah, go ahead and mount it. Alrighty, so I had a bit more of a think about it and was playing around with the idea. Now I ended up deciding to mount the header tank towards the rear a bit more. A couple of reasons. Sort of the hoses fall that way a bit better. That's how it sort of sits in the Falcon. And secondly, I decided this recess here would be a perfect spot for the windscreen washer reservoir. It's got to go somewhere, so I thought, yeah, why not? That'll fill that out. And like I said, the hoses sort of fall in their natural spot and sort of fills that area out a bit more. So that's why I ended up going with that. I think I might have to duck into town. I might have to go and get some steel to make the stabilizer brackets for the front end. I only had temporary ones on there before, and I might pick up some 1.5-inch pipe to yeah, extend the radiator hoses. Gonna be able to use factory ones. I just have to cut them and yeah, add a bit of pipe in the middle of there, and I'll pick up the yeah, windscreen washer reservoir as well, I'm thinking. So yeah, probably heading to town, Alrighty, so back from town, got the steel I needed to make the radiator support brackets, and went ahead and picked up yeah, windscreen washer reservoir as well. So got that, got enough alley here to, yeah, make the radiator hoses work, and I got my little pod filter, which, like I said, I'm going to set up in the inner guard. But yeah, it's getting a bit late here this half, so we'll shut it down for the day and get in tomorrow. Rightio, the next day, bit of a late start. Again, had to go up the block and get some work done. So I'm probably going to move on to, yeah, I'll extend them radiator hoses, mount the windscreen washer reservoir, and then I'll probably move on to making the brackets for the radiator support panel. So let's get into it, Rightio, so I went ahead and split those radiator hoses top and bottom. Got those bits of alloy pipe in there, so that's how they're going to work out. Really happy with that. And also went ahead and mounted the windscreen washer fluid bottle. So yeah, that fills in that nice space there. Really nice where that brake booster used to be. Like I said, going to go ahead and make the radiator support brackets now. Rightio, so I went ahead and got those radiator support brackets made. Yeah, they're bolted in. Probably got to clean them up a little bit more, but they're both in, front end supported. So yeah, really happy with that. Took a little while, didn't bother filming anyway, pretty boring. But yeah, after that I went ahead, I got some bought some spare wheels the other day, basically the same wheel and tyres that I put on the AA. Just fitted them up just to make this thing look a bit more pretty. It's not these aren't the wheels and tyres that's going to be on it, but I just had them there, so I thought better look at it with these on it than the other ones. So yeah, getting dark here, so yeah, probably gonna wrap it up for today. We'll get in tomorrow. Right, yeah, so it's the next day here. I think what I'm gonna get straight into this morning is gonna look at the lower part of the firewall recess, try and get that worked out and start fabbing it up, and also the tunnel, work out whether I'm gonna use that cover or just sort of extend that firewall recess back and sort of make it a permanent fixture, because probably won't be getting in there that much, but not too sure yet. Gonna have a look at it, so let's get into it, eh? Right, yeah, so I went ahead and got that lower half of the tunnel cut up and folded and all that jazz, got it tacked in there. Really happy with how it's looking. Bit of an odd shape, but sort of the way that the Barra is designed, it's sort of, the intake manifold is really big, so it's sort of offset to one side. And then the tunnels and these dodges are offset to the other side. That's why you're seeing it sort of, yeah, from left to right, sort of sway that way. Like I said, the Barra is offset to the left, tunnel's offset to the right, so that might explain that a bit. So yeah, like I said, really happy with how it's looking. Next move, I'm thinking I've probably got to go to town. I've got to get a tap, 3/8 UNF tap and some bolts to bolt that bench seat in. I've got to bolt it together first, and then yeah, bolt it into place, because I want to get it sat in there and yeah, see how the steering wheel and the pedals, make sure they're definitely in the right position sitting in the seat, and if they are, then I can, yeah, continue locking in the firewall. But yeah, we're just gonna go have some lunch, probably go to town, get that tap and then bolts, and yeah, get back in that bench seat. Rightio, so back out from town, I picked up that tap and the bolts that I needed, tapped out the holes, bolted the seat together. Got the seat obviously bolted in the cab, check seat position, really happy with that. So I'm probably going to button this video off here. I'm really happy with what I've got done so far. I've got to get this video edited before I go back to work, so like I say, probably going to button this video off here. So as always, thanks to everyone for watching. If you can do us a favour, like, comment, share and subscribe with your mates. I'll catch you on the next one.